Hi guys, welcome back to another Mix It Up Monday. This is the inspiration piece for today, and I pulled most of the things using the colors from the inspiration piece to choose the papers and embellishments and things for this layout. So first what I'm doing is I'm going to prime my page using some clear gesso because I was using this creamy colored cardstock, and if I used the white it was just not going to look right next to it, so I'm just using the clear to smear that on to make a good base for some of the mists and things that I'm going to use. So here are the photos. It's a picture of me and my daughter at one of the circuses and that comes to town, a picture and a picture of her and her little friend. What I'm going to do is take these photos and just mount them on some of this kind of charcoaly brownish blackish colored paper. And I trimmed both the top two photos into about 3x4s, and the bottom photo is about a 4x6, just so you guys have an idea of the dimensions. So I'm just going to trim that out, and that will be a nice border, kind of separating it from the background on the page. So I'm going to take that, and then what I'm going to do next is do some mixed media in the background. I am going to take some gelatos and use the packaging technique. I'm just going to smear the gelato on the packaging. And apparently I'm thinking about smearing the gelato on the packaging. There I go. So I'm going to smear the gelato on the packaging and then use a little bit of water and then just kind of smush it around the page. And then you're going to see later on that I actually end up using a little bit more because a lot of this gets hidden by the pictures and the embellishment. So you'll see that towards the end, then I'm going to end up adding more than this. So this is just like a pink color. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it, but nothing too strong. And what I do like about putting that clear gesso on the cardstock, you can't see the gesso, but by me kind of scraping it on the page and the texture from the paper from the page, it leaves kind of a nice kind of a, I don't know, texture, kind of a liney texture. So when you see the close-ups, you might be able to pick that up a little bit more. So now I'm just going through the different embellishments and things. I think I mentioned earlier that this was an old Scraptastic kit, so I definitely have a lot of kits in my stash. So I am on a mission to get this stash used up, and I was really inspired by the inspiration piece to use this Chamel paper that came in the kit, and I thought it would go perfect with the theme. And I know there's a lot of red in the background, but I wanted to pull in some of the aqua, and you're going to see here I'm going to go to that Go Somewhere Lovely, I think it says. Yes, Go Somewhere Lovely. I'm going to end up using that, and that's one of the colors that I kind of caught my eye from the inspiration piece that kind of drew me to using this particular kit. And like I was saying, there's a lot of red in the picture, but I think it ends up being balanced pretty well. I don't scrapbook a lot of red, and I don't have a lot of kits that have a lot of red in it, but I think in this case this kit ends up working okay. So I'm just going to go through the various pieces, and you can see already that I have pretty much covered up that mist that I put down in the background at first, so I'll fix that in just a little bit. So the kits come with wood veneers and acetate pieces and all kinds of stuff. I think this was from summer of 2015 maybe this kit came from, or 2014. I can't even remember. It's been a while since I've had this kit, so I definitely was diving deep in my stash today. So I'm going to futz with this quite a bit, trying to figure out kind of what I like. I'm going to end up moving those die cuts at the top right. I don't really like how that looks, and I'm going to switch it out for something else. I really want to use those Heidi Swap word phrases and things like that are like that glittery aqua, but it's just not going to work today. So I'm going to end up using, like I said, that card that's from the cut apart sheet from this Chamel, collection, sorry. And then I'm going to end up using these doilies. I have some yellow doilies, and I thought that just give a nice grounding element. And again, I'm just trying to work with what I have, and with the page being so red, I was really kind of struggling. I think that's probably why I played with this so much, trying to figure out what papers to use. I really wanted to use this kit, so that's why I stuck with it. And there are some reds and yellows and things like that in the kit, but the red in the pictures was very overpowering, so I'm trying to balance that as much as possible. I didn't want to add more red because, like I said, there's a lot of red already in the picture, and I used some of that pink in the background of that mist to try to help balance it as well. The triangle paper that I'm using there does have some reds and yellows in it, and I'm hoping that will help balance it as well. So I'm going to kind of work with that. And right now I'm just kind of tucking in different elements, and that's just some journaling lines that I'm going to end up putting my journaling on, that I'm going to stick there on the right hand side there. And of course everything's kind of shifting around because I'm not gluing it down yet. I'm so very indecisive, so it takes me forever before I glue anything down. I wish I could just go and put things on the page, but I think if I did that I probably wouldn't be as happy as I would if I just kind of played. It moves around, but I think in the end I'm a little more satisfied than if I just start sticking it down and then not liking how it looked. So here's another piece of paper. I believe that is also from the Chamel collection. And it is again just bringing in some more of that pinks and the aqua colors. And I thought about using just the smaller strip, but then I didn't really like how it was cutting off the words. So I'm going to end up using a thicker strip, I believe, coming up here in a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to that thicker strip. So now I'm going to try to shove that under there, all those layers that aren't glued down, try to see if I like it. And I'm just going to kind of move everything around till it's all in a position that I think looks pleasing to the eye. And I wanted to add this strip too, but I think I decide to either not do it or I end up cutting it down a little bit. I can't quite remember. So now I'm just trimming that blue piece down because I didn't want it to go that far. So I trimmed it down, and now I'm finally going to be gluing some stuff down. So I'm going to glue that down, and that's just kind of a nice base for all of those paper and pictures and everything to lay on. I felt that it was kind of floating a bit, and I use this a lot as like an anchoring piece in order to get the photos so they don't feel like they're floating around, or the layers that they're not floating around. I think it just really helps to kind of ground everything. So now I'm going to glue down that cut apart, and I really, really like the colors in that cut apart sheet. And this is the acetate word today, and I'm just going to use some of my Scotch quick dry adhesive to get this down on the page, just using a little bit here and there. And because I'm doing it behind the letters, you really can't see the glue too much. It really wasn't a good way to put this down. I could have used my Xyron sticker maker, the little X sticker maker. It was a little bit too small for this, but Xyron makes other ones that would work too. But it ended up being that this liquid adhesive worked just as good. And it was just easier. I didn't have one of the larger sticker makers. My friend did that I was with when I was making this, but it just was easier just to end up using the clear or the liquid glue. So now I'm taking that doily that I had played with earlier and gluing it down. I think adding this just adds another little texture and element that kind of gives it some continuity, gets some more yellow in the background. Again, trying to balance that crazy amount of red that's in the background. And I just really like the softness and the texture that those doilies give. So I think it works out okay. And it also mimics the yellow in the little triangles. And here is where I'm going to stick this piece, and I think I'm just going to trim it down. I like how it was dark, and it kind of balanced some of that dark in the top left of that bottom photo because it is awfully dark. It was inside the little tent where the circus was, so I felt like it needed a little bit extra. And I'm going to put a little strip there on the top left, again just to balance the two sides because it would look, I think, funny with it just being on the right. And now I'm going to continue to work on these embellishments. I'm going to use some of these little stars from Chickadee Crafts on 3 little places in my layout, trying to get that visual triangle going. And then I'm going to take some enamel dots and put them around the page as well. Again, just picking up some of the colors in the rest of the papers and things. Next, I am going to, let's see, what am I going to do? I can't remember now all of a sudden. I think we'll just have to find out together. I can't not remember. So I'm looking at it. Everything looks pretty good at this point. I do want to do a little bit more. This is where I'm actually doing the gesso. The gelatos a little bit more. So I'm going to carefully, very carefully, sorta, kinda, just smushing it on. I tried to do my best so I wouldn't get it like all over my photo. But, you know, in the end, I just kind of thought, well, you know, I'm just going to stick it around. It does dry a lot lighter, and so I end up liking how it looks. So now I'm using the font that came in the Scraptastic kit. This Circus word is from Chickadee Crafts, and the Flora is, I believe, My Mind's Eye or Me, My Big Ideas. No, My Mind's Eye, I believe. Here are some little printables that I printed. I believe I printed them from maybe Studio Calico forever and ever ago. So it's nice to be able to use up more of my stash. This day is a really good day to really give me an excuse to get there and dig into my stash that I have not really dug into very much. And I was able to use quite a bit from my stash on this layout. It was mostly from the Scraptastic kit, but I was able to pull a few little pieces from here and there that I've had just for forever. And while I am digging through my stuff, I just wanted to let you guys know that we do have a Facebook group. If you are interested in joining us, the link is below. You can definitely come over there and share a layout with us there. If you find inspiration from any of the work that we do during the week, you can definitely show us what you've done. And also, if you're interested in checking out my channel, that all information is all below. I do have an Instagram account and a Facebook page, so if you guys are interested in that too, you can go there. So I try to post videos at least once a week. Sometimes it's been hard, especially in the summertime. I'm hoping to get a little bit more regular once the summer is over, but who knows? And once school starts, it's really busy too. So it just kind of depends. It's kind of an ebb and flow, to be honest. So now I've had these flags from Basic Gray. I think they're, yeah, Basic Gray for forever. Again, another thing pulling from my stash, and I think they're so cute. And I ended up only being able to use one. I'm going to try to put another one down over on the left side, but I'm just not going to like how it looks. So I'm going to just stick with that one that I have. And they're on these little kind of decorative toothpicks. And I think it says, "Hey Sunshine." And like, there you go. You can see I was trying to put one more, but it ended up looking fine with just that one. And again, I think this way, this layout is starting to look pretty good. I think the red is kind of somewhat balanced because I have a little bit of that strong color in the blue, and just putting some other reds and things around the page. Again, try not to overdo it with more red, but just put it a little bit so it looks like it's meant to be. So those are some brads, and that's pretty much it for me. If you guys like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything that I did today or anything else, just leave those in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!